Hey y'all, Enzo here with Knox Knife Mods. Hope you guys are doing well. I felt like doing kind of a listy kind of video here. I hope that's cool. You know, list videos are always fun. So we got a bunch of knives here. On the board are my favorite big knives. Big knives are something that I'm really passionate about. I love big, crazy, honking knives. They make me happy. And a fellow that I work with who is a good friend of mine, my friend Cameron, who made this awesome cutting board for me. He and I have different opinion on knife design and mutually respected opinions. He likes very beautiful flowing lines and smaller kind of sizes, and I tend to like more kind of, I guess for lack of a better word, kind of brutish looking designs and larger sizes. And it got me thinking, why do I prefer that? And so I kind of wanted to explore that. So I figured we'd just go through some of my favorite large knives and talk about what makes them so fun and so cool. And I would love to hear if you have a collection of large size knives. Let me know what some of your favorites are. If you don't, and that's not really your cup of tea, let me know why. I'd love to hear why. And please, I'm trying to expand, as always. It's a quest that never ends. I'm trying to expand my knife experience, and I want to kind of look into some more smaller stuff and some more designy stuff, for lack of a better word. Maybe artistic, maybe is the word I'm looking for. So that's what we're doing today. So we're just going to dive right into it, guys. First, though, a little bit of Buffalo Trace in the glass here. Man, that is good. God, I love some Buffalo Trace. Okay. I'm going to challenge Walsh to do something similar, although my challenge for Walsh on this, instead of his favorite big knives, Walsh is a master of what I call the little big knife, where it's a small size knife that feels substantial. I want to know what Walsh's favorite little big knives are. So Walsh, buddy, when you see this, you got to follow up with your own video. I'm challenging you, sir. Anyway, guys, let's dive into it. We're going to start with, we'll do one slip joint and then we'll do one modern. We'll kind of alternate. So first up is the Rough Rider Reserve Black, or Black Reserve. I can't remember how it goes. Saddle horn. Look at this thing. For a slip joint, this is a tough customer, man. Look how thick that thing is. A nice big old clip point like you would expect to see on a saddle horn. I really love this knife. Very affirmative walk and talk. And the secondary blade is a Skinner. This one has pack of wood scales that have been they've had a texture applied to them, and it's really nice in hand. G10 liners as well, I believe. I'm not 100% sure that that's G10, but yeah, just an awesome chunky slip joint. So if you want something large, but for some reason you can't have a locking knife, Rough Rider definitely has you covered on the more affordable front. You know what? We'll keep on the slip joints for now because I want to keep on that same topic. If you want something that is a little bit more of a step up, see if you can find yourself a Case Granddaddy Barlow. These Granddaddies are huge. Oh my gosh, man, this has got to be near 4 inches. This thing is massive. I would guess if you're going from the Tang, I would guess that's about 4. If you're going from the sharpening choil, I'd say like maybe 3 3/4. Maybe 3 1/2. Maybe I'm overestimating, but still, this thing is huge. I mean, look at that. Absolutely wonderful jigging pattern on this kind of, gray-black bone. It's so beautiful. And a Case hot dog shield. I really love this one. This is one that Johnny from Tennessee Cutlery, he had it for a while, and when he realized just how badly I wanted it, he kind of hid it away until I had the money, which was super cool of him. I love this knife. It's the Case Granddaddy Barlow. This one's from like 2001, but you can find these on eBay and other pre-owned sites. They're not impossible to find. So if you want something made in the USA, and still somewhat affordable, that's an excellent option. This Rough Rider came in around the $30 mark. This case is around the $100 mark if you can find them, which you can. It's not hard, but I think a reasonable price is around $90 to $100. Now let's see here. Now we'll jump to a modern knife. Let's see. Let's talk about this one. This is my... Oh man, this is my Emerson CQC 11K. This is a nice budget, big boy. Look at that Skinner shape. I love this knife, man. This was the one I brought it into work, and my friend saw it, and he was like, "Why is this knife so huge?" And I said, "Why not, man? It's fun, dude." And I think his concern is he doesn't like the he doesn't care for the overly tactical or perhaps overly aggressive nature of larger knives. To me, I don't carry a larger knife to come across as some sort of super aggressive dude. I just carry it because I think they're fun. I just love large knives. I think they're fun, man. It makes me feel like like a Nord in Skyrim or something when I carry something like this. But in this case, it is an Ernest Emerson design. It basically, I think it's the same pattern as the Emerson Roadhouse, except instead of a liner lock, it features a steel frame lock. But other than that, I think it's almost exactly the same, which is really cool that he did this with Kershaw. This is the D2 version, which comes in right at $50. I've heavily modded this one. This was actually my first serious mod. Acid wash on the blade. It's got a lot of wear, as you can see. Acid wash as well on the lock side, also a lot of wear. Deep carry lynch clip, and a finger choil on the front so I can choke up when I feel like it. Love this knife. Will always hold a beloved place in my collection. I called this one the Berserker mod. So yeah, that one's nice and affordable if you want something big and reasonably priced. $50 on that. D2, it's good to go. Emerson design. I mean, it's great, man. For $50, that's awesome. So we'll jump up in price again. Let's do, we're going to save this one for later. Let's do another more expensive one. Here, this is a good example. This is this is a Goblin XL. This was designed by, I can't remember his first name, but the name of his company is Noble Knives. His last name is Noble, but I'm blanking on his first name. I did a little bit of work on this one. It has an orange peel texture, and then I also did some scalloping with the Dremel to give it just a little more visual interest, because these are just big, huge scales, and I felt like they needed something. But man, this is by Concept. When they came out, these are right at the $200 mark. S35 VN steel, titanium, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a very simple knife, titanium frame lock. But yeah, it's really a cool design because it's based off of the Goblin fighter jet, and you can see the lines when you line up the knife with the photo of the actual jet. It's really cool. What's interesting is this was initially brought out as a very small little knife, and then Mr. Noble decided he wanted to do something, exploring it in an XL size, and holy cow, this bad boy feels XL. It's very tall in the hand, as you can see. You also have room to grip up if you'd like to change your grip. But yeah, it definitely lends itself to multiple grip options and being able to kind of choke back, choke forward, do whatever you like. But in this grip right here, the saber grip, it is wonderful. Your hand lands on that jimping, which, by the way, also acts as a front flipper. So yeah, very fun, over-the-top, ridiculous knife. And I also like how it sits in the pocket too with this clip. It does kind of stick out about like that, but it just looks so ridiculous with this big upward swooping shape coming out of your pocket. It definitely will provoke questions, but again, I don't personally care. I think it's a fun, cool knife. So this one's at the $200 mark from Concept. That's a fun one. Let's see. Let's go back to the slip joints for a minute. We'll do a GC to kind of act as a foil to our Rough Rider here in particular. So obviously GC is going to be your highest point in production slip joints for your money. This is the GC Pioneer Trapper number 23. God, yeah, this thing is a hoss. Let's compare it. They're actually pretty close. Oh man, the Rough Rider is actually thicker. That's interesting. But this thing is a beast. So what we have here, they call it a Pioneer Trapper. Tony Bowes called this pattern a bullnose trapper. We have a main drop point, a beautiful drop point. I really love that shape. And our secondary, the walk and talk on this is nuts, by the way. It's like a 9 out of 10. It is beefy. Our secondary is a Spey. Here we go. I mean, you guys can just hear it thwack. Beautiful space shape though. I really love the space shapes on these and how the clip is just very small. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous. And steel on these is $10.95. Gosh, yeah. These things are robust too. Again, if you want a slip joint that feels like it's locking up, this is a great choice, and it feels like it can do some serious work. This is one of those rare slip joints that you feel like you could just swing into a log and not have to worry about it. I really love the shield on these. Just a beautiful, I don't know if that's a Federal shield. I got to get my shield straightened out. I think it's a Federal shield. Beautiful shield. The handle material is, they call it woodland micarta, but it's like a ridged micarta. Very beautiful tan shade. I really like it a lot. But yeah, just a beautiful option from GC. These are not hard to find, and I think the reason is because they are so large. A lot of people don't like carrying them. So you can get on eBay and also just some knife retail pages, and you might be able to find one of these used for a reasonable price. I got this one around, I want to say like the $175 mark, but I really love this particular knife. I think it's a beautiful knife, and the fact that Tony Bose has some presence with this pattern, I like that a lot. Even though it wasn't through GC, but he has a version of this pattern through Case. Just anywhere that Tony Bose's fingerprints are, it's always cool to me. So moving right along here, we'll do another modern knife. Here's this this is a pretty mid-level in the budget range. This is the Kershaw Lucha. Let's see if I can open this without cutting myself. Yes, I can. There we go. Awesome balisong, affordable balisong with a lot of style. I mean, this thing just oozes style. USA made, USA designed. Just a great offering from Kershaw. This pocket clip mod, by the way, this is a TRM Atom pocket clip. If you would like to see a video on, installing this, since these don't come with pocket clips, just click up here. But yeah, awesome knife, big knife too. I think this one comes in a hair above 4 inches. I love this blade shape though. Nice flat, a bit of belly here, and almost kind of an upswept tip. Not quite, but close to an upswept tip here. Love this swedge as well. Everything about this design just really spoke to me when it came out, and I still love it. I don't carry it all the time since it's a Bally, and it's just not something I carry very often, but it's just super cool. These Ballies come in right around the $100 mark, so they're reasonably priced for what you're getting. Steel, by the way, the steel on that blade is 14C28N, which is an excellent budget option because it's a stainless steel that has tons of toughness and very reasonable edge holding qualities. Great steel. So good stuff here. The Kershaw Lucha. Let's jump back to our last slip joint here. Oh man, this is a good one to end on. This is from Franck Suvet via Boker. This is the Bad Guy. Oh yeah, man. This, just like this GC, this feels like when you get the knife tang against the back spring, it feels like it's locked. It doesn't feel like a slip joint. It feels like you just locked the blade. It's very affirmative, and in hand, again, it feels like an absolute worker. Look at the size of this thing. This is the most absurd slip joint. It really just looks like you took a Lanny's clip and just put it on steroids. Beefcaked it up. So what we have here, G10 handles. I really love how it's got kind of a faux bolster here with the crater texture on the handles too. I think it's great. The shield here is this skull shield that is a design of Mr. Suvet's. Maybe I should say that. The steel is D2, and it has Boker's almost, it's like a satin finish. It's a satin rub finish. It's really pretty. I don't know how well that's showing up on the camera, but it's a very pretty finish from the factory at Boker. These come in right around 110. Got mine for a little bit less than that, but that was a while ago. I'm not sure what they're at now. Red G10 liners, and then against the G10 black scales. But yeah, just a really tough looking, over the top slip joint. Again, if you're somewhere where you can't have a locking knife, but you want something that has some substance, good God, this is your number one choice, I think. I would choose, if I just wanted a ridiculous working knife, I would choose this over these, just out of sheer utility. This thing feels, the other thing is, it's super thinly ground. like you can do some really fine slicing with this thing because it looks like it's got thick stock, but it's a full flat grind, so it has so much height to it and so much time to just kind of thin out as you approach the edge. By the time you get to the edge, this thing is just absurdly thin. So yeah, it's a really cool knife for a lot of different reasons. The Bad Guy from Boker, yeah, absolutely love this one. Man, what a cool knife. What have I not touched on yet? We've talked about these. Okay, we've got these left to talk about. Let's do another budget option here. This is a Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive from Beyond EDC. This is the Night Horse, designed by none other than Dirk Pinkerton. And if you look at it, you can see his design language. This really upswept tip here. Very aggressive kind of a point. He's big on that sort of blade language. However, this one's very clearly inspired by Spanish Navaja patterns. And man, the price on this one is insane. $29.99 on this. At least it was. That may have changed by now, but at the time that I got mine, it was $29.99. What you're getting for that is this beautifully milled G10, very affirmative texture in the hand. Here's the shot of the spine here. Wonderful fit and finish on this. I mean, it's just fantastic. You've got some jimping in the G10 here. The blade is 14C 28N. We can see here Dirk Pinkerton's maker's mark, the Night Horse logo there. And what's really cool to me about this, for 30 bucks, you get a knife that has pretty unique thumb studs. I've not seen these thumb studs anywhere else. So that's really cool. If I didn't already say, the blade steel's 14C 28N, as I talked about on the Lucha. Excellent blade steel. Like probably the best budget blade steel. I will take it over D2 any day of the week. Action on this is really nice, but you have to be a little careful because it is a guillotine. It is an absolute guillotine. You need to take it slow there. But this knife is really cool and certainly has a lot of presence. The handle is long enough that you can do multiple choke options here. If you really need to swing into something, you can grip back, no problem. You've also got this traction pad, and that's on both sides, so that helps with your grip as well. But to me, the most comfortable place to grip's here. And the nice thing about this too is that the length of that handle really keeps it to where it's not likely to come out of your hand very easily. You have so much room to grip on this thing that it's really not going to go anywhere. But yeah, that is the Beyond EDC Night Horse, designed by Dirk Pinkerton. Dirk Pinkerton designed for 30 bucks with these kind of materials is unbelievable to me. All right, let's talk about some cold steel, guys. First up, we'll talk about the Immortal. I love this design. This is from Mike Wallace, and basically he was going for a folding Gladius, and I think he absolutely killed it. Blade steel on this one, CTS XHP. I think these might be out of production. They were doing them originally in XHP, and then they switched to S35. I don't know how easy these are to find now. I know the XHPs are really hard to find. The S35s, I think, might be getting kind of scarce too. But very unique design, very iconic design, definitely identifiable. I really love this design. It's like a folding sword in your pocket. It even kind of mimics the shape of a sword handle with this hilt section here, almost like a guard, a cross guard. It's really cool. And the blade is absolutely over the top, but I love it. Deep hollow grind, very thick stock. I want to say that's about 3/16. But yeah, so you have a deep hollow grind, so it will slice, it will cut really nice here. But then you have the compound grind up towards the tanto tip there. This is a false edge up here. But yeah, just a really striking blade design. Look at that thing. Look at the point on that thing. I absolutely love it. Again, some people see this and they think like aggression and, whatever. That's not why I personally like to carry these kind of knives. I just think they're fun and they have a lot of personality. And gosh darn it, if I want to feel like a legionnaire in the Elder Scrolls, this is the knife I'm carrying, man. Look at this thing. I just love it. Sculpted G10 on this as well. No liners, just G10 scales, G10 backspacer that is also proud, and it's kind of a striker backspacer. And of course the triad lock. And you can do kind of the one-hand drop on this. You do need to be careful though, because your safe zone's pretty small on this one, but it works. the Cold Steel Immortal. Look at that thing. The presence in the pocket, too, again. It's another one of those absolutely ridiculous ones. But I love it. Okay, so I've promised myself I would only do one Demco in this video because you could pretty much choose any Demco other than the 20.5 and do a big knife. But I had to choose, if you're going to do a big knife, you got to choose the Demco 4max. This is my personal 4max Scout. This is the Blood Eagle mod. I love this thing. As you can see, it is the standard Grivex or Grivery, whatever they call it, the standard scales. But I did a lot of Dremel work to them to give them a much more stylized look, almost like something with big claws had its hands on it. So I really love the appearance of the scales and how they turned out. I dyed them a deep red. I stonewashed acid washed the pocket clip as well as the liners and the lock bar. The lock bar also has a rock carving on it, as well as some hand-filed jimping to mimic the way that the jimping used to appear on the Italian and USA made 4maxes. And then the blade here is Austin A with again Dremel work done to the flats and some on the spine just for some personality. And yeah, it's just a big awesome knife. Again, another one of these situations where you have a lot of grip options. You have a nice big finger choil up here if you want to choke up. This is kind of your standard zone, and then if you want to choke back for chopping, you have a total option here where your index can ride in this hollow right there, and that's super comfortable. Just want to be careful you don't accidentally engage the lock at this point, because if you did, yeah, that blade's going to take a finger. Look at that. Yowza. So you got to be careful with that. But man, this thing is awesome. These 4max Scouts are quite affordable. They're riding around $50 right now, which is absolutely insane for what you're getting for your money. So anybody that's interested in a 4max, I highly suggest you pick yourself up a Scout. There is the 5max out now. However, I haven't found a good enough deal on one to convince myself to get one yet. To me, the 4max is about as large as I want to go. I do also love the 8010. 8010 is really probably my favorite out of all of Demco's designs, but for a larger size, I think the 4max is just perfect. 5max might actually be a little too big for me. Anyway, guys, this was just a fun rambly video talking about my favorite big knives. If I had to pick one, oh boy. I have a real soft spot for this bad guy, but I don't think that's going to be my answer. I would lean a bit towards this Case Granddaddy Barlow just because it's such a striking design. It's such a pretty design. I really love that one. You know what, though? If I had to pick one, it would probably be the 4max just because I really love how this mod turned out, this particular 4max. Now, if it was just a standard 4max in this list, I would probably go with the GEC 23 overall, I think. It's a tough call. But in terms of personality and style and funk and craziness, I really love... I don't know, though. This is tough, man. I've really put myself in a bind here. I really love this Immortal as well. Huh. That's tough. That is tough. Okay, if we took money and rarity and scarcity and all that crap, we took all that crap out. We're just choosing based on appearance. I'm going with the 4max Scout. There we go. That's my answer. Based on the appearance of this particular 4max Scout, this would be my choice. Out of all the Slippies, I would probably go with this GEC 23. I don't know. That's tough. Again, I don't know why I'm putting myself in this position. We could just have a nice video where I talk about why I like these knives. I don't have to make myself choose one. Anyway, guys, let me know, what do y'all choose? Which one of these is your favorite? If there's anything you want to know about any of these, please ask me down below. If I forgot to mention any aspect of these knives, I'd be happy to tell you about them. And yeah, please let me know what your favorites are. Let me know what your favorite big knives are in your collection, or for the challenge that I'm doing for Walsh, let me know what your favorite little big knives are in your collection. I'd love to hear about them, because the other thing that is helpful about that, anybody that is viewing the video that is maybe wanting to find a big knife, a big fun knife, you're going to help them out just by leaving a comment about some of your favorites, so they'll know what to search for. Midgard's Messer, for example, coming up to Blade Show here, I'm going to be looking for some Midgard's Messer knives because they are huge. They've got every option from big crazy knife to Little Big Knife. So I'm excited to see them. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening to me ramble. Thanks for joining me on this one. And we will see you guys very soon in the next video. Y'all take it easy.